Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I just want to make a quick video on Bitcoin, Bitcoin treasury companies, and the Bitcoin miners. So let's get started. So today was a pretty eventful day in the crypto world. Bitcoin broke to new all-time highs by a few dollars or a few pennies basically. And it didn't exactly close at new all-time highs, but it was a touch. So what happened basically? So as you can see that for a couple of days on Twitter, if this could reload, a couple of days, Bitcoin since the start of July, I've been showing that Bitcoin just broke above this descending channel, and what I'm going to expect is a retest and then we move higher. So what did Bitcoin exactly do? It broke above, retested, and now it's moving higher. This is one of my favorite setups. This is called a breakout, retest, rebound setup. So when things usually break out with force, they usually do like to come back and test previous support or previous resistance as new support. Why? Because it's an area of distribution, and now it's an area of demand basically. So that's why it's just supply and demand dynamics, and that's why it's starting to move higher. I do expect Bitcoin to reach to $115,000 over the coming days or the weekend. And if we can break this 1.618 level fib that I showed a couple of times, it's a pretty significant resistance level. It also coincides with this ascending resistance. So starting off with 2021, then April, then November, then December, and then now. So the fib level comes from here, from the top to the bottom, and this is the fib level over here. So it has broken above, but it's just an area or a region, I would say. So give or take $5,000-$6,000. So it has to overcome these two resistance lines, and then we're off to the races. I do believe that it's going to be an eventful couple of months now. And looking at the shorter term, we saw a massive blow up, massive God candle, and now it's coming back down a bit, and it's totally expected. Late short, late longs should get liquidated. So I wouldn't be surprised just to see a retest of $109,000. So this level over here, if we can retest this level over here, and then we can move higher. So it's just a breakout, retest, rebound setup. Let's look at moving on from Bitcoin. Let's look at Ethereum. So Ethereum also had a pretty eventful day today, but not as it's exciting. I can see a inverse head and shoulders over here. It's a pretty weird inverse head and shoulders. So this is the left shoulder, right shoulder, and this is the head. But let's not focus on that. Let's focus on this area over here. So you can see that this area over here is a range of consolidation, right? So in fact, this area over here, and let me move to the higher time frames. This area over here. Now you may be asking that, okay, we saw consolidation over here, it moved higher. What tells us? Okay, we also saw consolidation over here, it moved higher, but then we had a fake out. What tells us that this move won't be a fake out? Okay, let me explain. So this move, this consolidation period over here, won't be a fake out, similar to this. Why? Because of this. So there's been a significant change of trend, right? You see that Ethereum broke below the 200-day moving average from here, and then it broke back above, consolidated for a couple of weeks, or a month or two, broke down, and then it had a massive candle closing above the 200-day moving average, which is in blue. Now it's closed a candle decisively above the 50 moving average, right? So it's closing above the moving averages, The moving averages are starting to curl up. If you can look at the 20-day moving average, you can see that it's flattening and starting to curl up. The same with the other moving averages. So that is a pretty significant change in trend, right? Also look at monthly. We can see that here is where the 50 moving average is where Ethereum bounced. It broke below and now it reclaimed it, and now it's going to reclaim the 20-day moving average, right? Also, if you think of support and resistances, this is what happened, right? So this, and let's not go all the way up there. Let's just go over here. You can see that it's in an ascending channel, right? So touchdown, touchdown, touch up, touchdown, and now in the coming months, I could see a $5,000 Ethereum, right? To probably retest the previous all-time highs. Especially look at this monthly candle, right? So this is a classic Morningstar pattern. So, oops. So a classic Morningstar pattern over here. And right now it's moving up. And the first target is definitely around 3,700 on the monthly time frame. And we'll see, evaluate things. But right now, Ethereum is looking very good. It's closing above the essential key moving averages. The chart has moved from bearish to constructive and now to a trend change, which is up towards the upside. Let's look at the crypto stocks. Let's look at MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy, same thing. Look at this beautiful breakout. I recently posted a YouTube video explaining MicroStrategy before this move, before it went up 5%. Beautiful. I also shared this on Twitter a couple of times. So let me just quickly find it. So this nope, not this. This is MicroStrategy. Yep, over here. So this was July 7th, and even before July 7th, if I can go back in time, and yeah, I'm not gonna go that back in time. You guys can go there, but this chart, like $400 level, and now it's at 415. So look at this beautiful breakout, right? And I'm pretty sure it's with volume. So you see that volume is above the 20 moving average. Let's look at the weekly. The week is still yet to finish, but this is a decisive breakout. If Bitcoin continues to climb up higher, I think that a retest of the $500 level is in play. Also, this is above all moving averages, so that's pretty bullish. Let's look at a couple of mine. Let's look at Coinbase first. So Coin, let me move to the weekly chart. So what happened? We saw this massive base forming over here, right? Massive base. And it moved higher. It found resistance over here. And this line, this green line, became the new resistance, which it followed up until here. And it broke above, tried to test it as support, but failed. Got back down to the 200 weekly moving average. Broke back up above. And look what happened. It broke above. And if I can find my coin post, let me find my coin post because I think this is going to be important. So coin, over here I'm saying that short-term perspective things are looking very extended, and you can see that definitely it came back 270 all the way to 237. Let me go to the latest. Yep, I think, yep, this is it. Yep. So I was explaining the breakout retest rebound setup over here. This was like a month ago, and look, it came back down. I was saying that I was suggesting that this might turn into a new support once it broke above. So we had a breakout over here, retested, and now it's time to rebound. And that's exactly what we did. And since then, it's up around 60%. So breakout, retest, rebound. And I do think that Coinbase is ready to move higher, especially after we formed this pretty short cup pattern, like consolidation pattern over here. And I think that it can go ahead and retest the $400 level first. And then we can see things are definitely extended. I wouldn't want to buy over here. Things are very extended right now on Coinbase, especially HOOD, Coinbase Bull. All these crypto or stock exchanges, brokerage firms are very extended. MicroStrategy, I believe, is a better play than Coin. Obviously, this is not financial advice, but MicroStrategy is better play than Coin right now. Let's look at Mara over here. So Mara, been a couple of months now since I've been saying that anything below the 200 weekly moving average or the monthly 50 moving average is just noise, right? And now Mara finally proved me wrong. So it's closing above the 50 monthly moving average. It's closed above the 20 weekly moving average, 200 weekly moving average, and also the 200 daily moving average. And look at the slopes. So let me also add the 20 moving average over here. So 20, 50, 200, all of them are sloping upwards. We had a breakout, massive breakout. The last time we had a breakout was back in January of 2025. Breakout, retest, and now we rebound. Now, where do I see this heading? So let me first show my posts. So I've said it a couple of times, nothing exciting happens until we break above the 200 weekly moving average. So this was July 7th. And you can see that, is it July 7th? Yes, July 7th. And you can see that now we retested at support and now it's moving higher. The next potential stop would be around this level up here, which is $21, $22. At that level, I would assume and I would expect that there would be significant levels of resistance over here, since look, dating back to 2021, resistance over here, resistance over here, resistance over here, and now resistance over here. So this would, after this, we might have a small pullback. And if Bitcoin continues to run higher, we might break this. And if we break this, then $30. Don't listen to the guys who say that it's going to $100, $150, $300. Don't get fooled by that. Just look at the price action. Look at what is in front of you right now, not in the future, not in the past. Yes, you can take past price action into consideration, but that does not mean that you can expect the same in the future. So look at where we're at right now and take baby steps, right? So the first target is 22. If we break that, then the second target is 27. If we break that, then the third target is $40. If we break that, then it's 50, then it's 70, and then we can move higher. We just can't say that it's going to $100, right? So there's that. I'm liking Mara right now over here, especially after I've said multiple times that nothing exciting happens. So look, July 2nd, again, it closed above these moving averages would be incredibly bullish and change in trend. The first potential target could be test above the green line of resistance at $22. So same thing, $22 if we close above, and we did. So that's where I think Mara goes. So CleanSpark, same thing. It's above all the moving averages. It's above 20, 50, 200. So the trend is your friend and it's in your favor right now. Where do I expect this? So this is where I expected the first resistance. And you can see that this ascending channel, the bottom of the ascending channel, what happened to my chart? Yep. The bottom of the ascending channel over here in the daily, it went up all the way to $12 and then 11 came back to 11. And if we can finally break this, I think the first target is around $16. Why? Because This line of resistance goes back, so it's starting from here, 2020. So starting from at $40, then this 14. I think we can see $15 over here. So this is 22, this is 15, yes, $15 over here. If we can get back above here, retest it as support. So if we can see something like this, that would be incredibly bullish for CleanSpark. So something like this, and then we move higher. So touch this resistance, go back down, and then move higher. So that would be incredibly bullish. So let's do one more. Let's look at IREN. IREN has been going pretty parabolic right now. It's just been going non-stop. It's just been mooning non-stop. So since the lows from 5 to like 18, it had a run of 250-60%. I would expect a pullback. So from a 20% pullback in the miner world is not that much. So something like this would be very bullish. So we have a breakout, retest, rebound setup, right? That would be incredibly bullish. The good thing is that obviously it's above all the moving averages. It's bullish, right? And the great part is that it's back into this long-term ascending channel that's dating back to 2022. So if you can just have a slight pullback around 14, 15, I would definitely not touch this right over here. Obviously, IREN long-term is looking very, very nice. In fact, it's looking sick. But look at the weekly, right? We need a pullback or a couple of weeks of consolidation sideways. A range might be formed, and then we can move higher. And eventually, the midpoint of the ascending channel is around $30. That would be the first point. That also coincides with this level over here, which is the $28 level, which I believe is the IPO price. So but before that, a short period of time for consolidation would be necessary. Otherwise, things wouldn't look good. Wouldn't be bullish. In fact, they would be. If things can't go up forever, right? So a pullback to $14, $15, and then move up. So yeah, I'm very bullish on the crypto world. I'm very bullish on miner stocks. I'm very bullish on MicroStrategy. I wasn't bullish on the miners until we actually saw that they had potential to break the key moving averages and have change in trend. And that's what, as an investor and trader, you should do. You should not assume a trend. You should wait for the trend. And that's what I actually did. And I showed you my posts. So if you guys haven't followed me yet on Twitter, I'll leave my channel link in the description below. Like this video, comment on the video if you have any chart requests, share this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Right. Thank you.